Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the stories that are making waves across the nation. Today we are diving into a chaotic and emotional scene that sparked major conversations online and in communities everywhere. A dramatic video aired on Fox News shows neighbors stepping in to try and stop ICE agents from detaining a murder, and the footage is nothing short of intense. Emotions are high, tensions are real, and people all over the country are reacting. Is this a powerful act of community solidarity or a case of interference with federal law enforcement? We are breaking it all down, from what exactly happened to how social media activists and everyday Americans are responding. So make sure to stick around, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because this one is story you don't want to miss. Let's get into it.
Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sins, now and at the hour of our death.
They do not have a warrant.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sins, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Stop! Police are coming! Stop! They do not have a warrant! They do not have a warrant! Help! Help! They do not have a warrant! Help! Help! They do not have a warrant! You do not have a warrant!
This is what you're doing? This? I got your faces all
What's the police aiming at a better ice on Wall Boulevard? There's no authority.
This arrest has no authority. What's the police? Find out why they're taking
Unmarked, unidentified They do not have a warrant.
Who the hell are you? Stop!
Hey, Jay.
No warrant! No warrant!
What we saw in that now viral video was not just chaos, it was raw, unscripted snapshot of the deep division and emotional stress surrounding immigration enforcement in the US. The video, captured in a residential neighborhood and held by Fox News, shows several neighbors stepping in, some shouting, some physically putting themselves between ICE agents and a woman believed to be a mother facing detainment. Let's get straight into the facts and the reactions.
I honestly have nothing nice to say about America at the moment, and that's all I'm going to say.
Prayed for Jesus and ICE showed up. Damn. You should have knew and learned from us that Jesus is not coming. Neither is your new pope.
This is what I was talking about. This is how you use your privileged white body.
I'm here outside of Delaney Hall. ICE just arrested the mayor, Ras Baraka. He was giving a press conference and they arrested him. They handcuffed him. We're all in distress and they arrested him.
I just saw that video in Massachusetts where they actually detained that mother with the newborn baby, and you slam a 16-year-old's face into the ground? You don't treat mass shooters like that when you get them. No. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So you go after some innocent, nice woman with newborn baby. Oh, that's big and bad. She's scary. She's threatening. She has nothing to do with fentanyl. She has nothing to do with any of that. And you guys go after her. Well, fuck you, Donald Trump. Fuck you. And we're coming after you, you old jerk. Oh, and for MAGA, you voted for this. What does this have to do with drugs and fentanyl and everything coming over the border? Absolutely nothing. You must be big and bad bullying against mothers with innocent newborn babies. Fuck you, MAGA. Fuck you.
ICE has too much money. They are severely overfunded. If they need 10 fucking cops in multiple fucking cars to go pick up a mother in a fucking suburban neighborhood, the fact that they're even going after her tells me that they're severely overfunded. What the fuck are we doing? Go watch this video. It is disturbing. I am proud to see that neighborhood showing up in numbers and trying to get involved and trying to save this woman who is being ripped from her newborn baby and 16-year-old daughter. And the 16-year-old daughter, they slammed her face and arrested her, by the way, which means what happens with the child? The baby goes into fucking the state's custody. If they didn't have anyone's hands to put that baby in, even overnight, I don't know who's going to bond the 16-year-old out. I don't know what their family ties are. I don't know what the fucking network is. That moment just caused so much fucking harm. And for what? You're not going to tell me she's MS-13. What made her a target? What made her a target that required 10, 12 cops to show up and violently kidnap her? Anyone cheering this on is sick in the head.
From the footage, ICE officers are seen attempting to detain an individual allegedly without a warrant that permits them to enter a private residency. That is the key detail. In many cases, ICE agents do not have judicial warranty, which limits their authority to enter homes without permission. The law protects private spaces, meaning unless the resident gives consent or an ICE officer as a signed judicial warrant, they can't force entry, and that is what triggered the community response. Neighbors rushed to the scene, creating a human shade around the woman. Some were pleading, others were standing firm, recording and loudly questioning the legality of what was happening. You could hear the anxiety, fear and frustration in their voices, and it's moments like this that spark a broader conversation, one that is messy, emotional and often political charged. Let's break down the perspectives. On one side, you have people saying these agents are doing their job. They are enforcing federal immigration law. If someone is here legally or violating visa terms, action should be taken. For them, allowing emotions to override the law is dangerous. They worry that community residents like this undermines the rule of law and creates potential safety risks for officers and bystanders. But on the other side, there is a human side. For many people watching, especially from immigrant communities, this isn't just about one arrest. It's about fear, trauma, and the family separation. It's about a system they have feel is broken, targeting non-violent people and tearing families apart. When they saw that woman being approached by ICE, they didn't see a criminal. They saw a mother, a neighbor, a friend. That is why this video has become such a flashpoint. Online reactions exploded across platforms. On Twitter, activists and immigration advocacy groups praised the neighbors as heroes, saying this was an example of community defense at its best. "This is how we protect each other," one tweet read. "No one should be taken from their family like this." Hashtags like Stop ICE, hashtag Abolish ICE, and hashtag Protect Mothers began trending in some circles, reigniting debates around immigration reform, sanctuary cities, and the power of local resistance. But the backlash was just as loud. Conservative voices and law and order advocates criticized the neighbors, calling their action reckless and illegal. Some even demanded charges to be filed against those who interfered, saying they put lives at risk and encourage lawlessness. They argued that ICE agents, like any law enforcement officers, must be allowed to do their job without being mobbed. And then there is the question, was this even legal? Interfering with a federal officer is a serious offense. If someone physically blocks an arrest, they could potentially be charged. However, many legal experts have pointed out that simply filming, questioning, or standing nearby isn't illegal on its own. What matters is how far the interference goes. Did they obstruct the arrest, or were they asserting their rights and observing? From a legal standpoint, ICE agents operate under civil, not criminal authority in many cases. That means they often rely on cooperation rather than force. They cannot forcibly enter a home without a judicial warrant. So when the community pushes back, there is often a gray area, legally and practically. But let's step back and ask, why do scenes like this keep happening? This isn't the first viral video of its kind. Over the past few years, there have been multiple incidents where ICE operation lead to public outcry, especially when children or families are involved. These events expose the deeper divide over immigration policy in America. Supporters of stricter immigration enforcement argue that the law is the law. They believe that failing to enforce immigration laws or rules leads to exploitation, national security risks, and unfair burdens on taxpayers. They also point out that the legal immigration system is already overwhelmed and allowing people to bypass it is unjust. But critics argue that the system itself is flawed. They say that the path to legal residence or citizenship is too narrow, too slow, and too broken. For them, ICE represents a heavy-handed, militarized approach to what should be a humanitarian issue. They believe in policy that patronize due process, community safety, and family unity. Back to the video, we still don't know all the details about the woman ICE tried to detain. Was she undocumented? Was there a prior deportation order? Did she have any criminal record? These facts matter, and they are often left out of viral clips, but that is also part of the problem. When these moments happen, we often judge based on emotion and partial information. It's easy to take sides, hard to know the full context. That is the reality of our current media and social media landscape. We react fast but reflect slow. And speaking of reactions, what is the bigger takeaway? This video is a reminder of how immigration policy isn't just about legislation in DC. It plays out in real time. On sidewalks, porches, and family homes, the neighbors in that video wasn't debating policy. They were acting on instinct, emotion, and a sense of community protection. Whether you see them as a hero or lawbreakers depends largely on your values and views on immigration. But one thing is clear, these incidents are going to keep happening unless broader reforms are addressed. So what can we take away from all this? First, community response is powerful. Whether you agree with it or not, these neighbors made headlines and potentially changed the course of that moment. Second, immigration enforcement is not black and white. There is nuisance, illegal, complexity, and human stories behind every action. And finally, we need to better communication, better policy, and more accountability on all sides. Law enforcement, lawmakers, and communities alike. This video, chaotic as it was, is a snapshot of a much bigger story. One about identity, justice, and the ever-evolving debate over who belongs and how we decide that. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss future updates. Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay informed and stay thoughtful.